Howdy y'all, today we're going to get the rollers on the track frames and the front idlers. Dad has gotten the track frames down from the gantry crane. When we put these back on here, we might need to go steal some shims off of the track frames, off of the 7J that we have outside. These rollers are cleaner's nemesis over here.
Yes, they are, but I think I can get them. I gotta blow these out.
When we sandblasted those, Dad covered them up really well with some duct tape, and the sandblaster stayed away from them. So it kept most of the junk out of there, but we're just probably being extra cautious.
There's a right one. I need a 2 left.
Dad marked all the rollers so that we would know exactly where they were when we go back.
I just gotta find them.
Yeah, we gotta find them. It is super hot outside. It's about 103 degrees outside, and in here it's what, 82, 80?
Right.
So it's not terrible, but it's still hot.
This is the front.
Yep.
This would be 1, 2 will go right here. I need 4 bolts.
All right, I'll grab them.
Okay, that's how they go.
Dad's got the axles all organized with the shims over here. I might still have to go pull one off of a 7J outside.
2 on each side. Shims go in there, and then your wear washer here.
And that's the inside.
Yeah.
And the outside's got the Zerk on it, which we've already tested all these Zerks. They all work.
We already ran fresh grease in the pins, which is outside. This was easy because they both had equal amount of shims. And then where's our flat?
Yeah, the other side of that pin axle is milled down. We're finding that the only way we can keep those spacers and washers and shims in a stack where they need to be is by putting a little bit of grease to hold them in there. Because once you put them on the axle, try to slide it on, they want to fall out. That is a finger pincher.
Okay.
There we go.
Now, we just got to put some bolts in, snug it up.
And then we can check it.
And check our play. 10 to 30 thousandths.
10 to 30 thousandths in.
I think we're a little heavy. Okay, there's 0. We're at about 20. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 27. We're at the max. If we put in a 1/10 thousandths shim, it'd be perfect. 10 to 30 thousandths, I believe. We should double check in the book.
Yeah, let's do. I might go get one of them track frames and bring it in anyway. I'm going to grab a track frame off of Hannah, Montana. Well, this one's got 2 rollers. We're kind of doing a 2-for-1. So I'm doing the bodywork video so that we can let things dry and putty dry and primer dry and paint dry. And while we're waiting for that, and in the evenings and afternoons when it gets super hot out here, we're working on the track frames. And I just got this one off of Hannah, Montana in here. So we're going to take the rollers off of here. We're not going to use them. They're pretty well worn. Actually, yeah, that one you can see right here on the inside's got a lot of wear, but we're after the shims that are inside here. Oh, come on, Milwaukee. Really? Oh, holy mackerel. Ugh. Dark and scary back here. This is where we keep Brutus. Oh, wake up, Brutus. I'm not asking. Dad and I were just discussing some of the subtleties here. These mounts here, where they mount to the track frames, are way different than the ones on our 4G. Now, this is a 7J, and in only 2 years, this is a 4G, and the 7Js are more squared away. In fact, looks like on this 4G, they use the same outside as the inside. We're back to grease again. This is like the circle of life.
What a contrast.
We noticed even the rollers have a different casting. There's a webbing in here. Yoink. Oh, they got a cross pin in here on this 7J. See that?
Oh.
Our 4G doesn't have that. Yeah, we'll probably have to... There it goes.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. That's new.
Yeah.
They definitely change things, don't they? I'll have to tap this with a hammer to get it loose.
Or we probably need a bigger bar.
I'm gonna take this other one loose.
He needed the exercise.
Yeah, it's good for him. He's getting lazy back there in the corner in the dark. Yoink! So this is tapered, this little bar that pins across here. Oh, that is completely different. Look at the bolts in there. Oh, yes, sir, it is.
It's just full of grease.
I know, but they got a seal in there. It's completely different.
Yeah. See, ours don't have a seal.
I think that we need to pull that off to get that out. It's locked in with that seal that rides inside of there. Our old 4G doesn't have any seals. It's just the way it is. I guess you grease it and it keeps the dirt out of it, and obviously somebody did. And after checking this one, it's fine. It's within tolerance. Kind of wondering if they'll have any shims in there at all.
Don't look like it.
I don't see any shims in there at all. There's the seal inside of that flange.
This ain't gonna help us.
Not at all.
We're gonna have to get some somehow.
Either that or make them. Oh, there's the shim.
No, that's like a gasket.
That's like a O-ring or a cork. It's cork.
It's a cork gasket.
And that's in there. I am not seeing a shim anywhere in here.
No. Does that come off of there?
It's kind of pressed on it.
No, that's machined part of the roller.
Yeah, these are a drastic change from 4G. I think we're going to stop here and I'll haul these back outside and they can sit on the pallet, but they're not going to do us any good today. 10 thousandths, 170, 290. My curiosity has gotten the best of me, so I'm going to go out to the D4 parts store. I want to look at the rollers on the 7J that's older than Hannah, Montana. Rita McCoy. Howdy. Go be a tumbleweed somewhere else. I can already tell by the caps and by the webs in those rollers that these are exactly like the other 7Js. Now I'm extra curious. I'm gonna go look in the parts book, which I probably should have done to begin with. I haven't learned anything yet. This is my parts book for 4G1 to 4G9999, and this is our roller page, and you can see that this includes effective with machine 4G8047, so ours has these style rollers right here. This is the 7J1 to 7J5103 book, and right here at the beginning of the 7J series, they were still using the exact same part number and roller as at the end of the 4G run. But it looks like they changed that at 7J1382, and they went to this style right here. They changed to the one we just took apart over here at the 7J730. So once again, finding an original part for a 4G is proven to be difficult, and it's just not there. They didn't make that many of these. We've got one of the double flange rollers on. We're going to put on a single flange roller. 4 shims on this side and 3 shims on this side. And we'll put it together and check it. We'll put a little grease in our caps to hold the shims in place. Boy, that's a gust of wind. Holy smokes, it's shaking the building. Because if you don't put grease in here, they are hard to put together. They want to fall out.
Guy could flop these, but I don't see any reason to.
All right, need a little bit of grease in there too.
You're going to make me get dirty now.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Now you got to put the other side.
All right.
All right, you got it.
No, I got to flip it around. You got the axle ready to go in? Put the flat there. There you go. Now, hold yours. There it goes. There we go. Okay, now.
Now, turn the
pin and everything upside down.
Yes.
All right, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yep.
Watch your fingers.
We're going to put a little anti-seize on these threads because I've noticed on all these that I've taken apart, they rust really bad because dirt sits in here on top of this frame rail, and it kind of sits right around the end of the bolt and gets into those threads.
All right, 20.
I think we're okay.
Yeah, this one's good.
We've kept track of the shims, and they're right there where they need to be, right within tolerance. It looks like our tolerance should be within 10 to 30 thousandths, and Dad's been very diligent about making sure that these stay all together. These are lightly lubricated. I'm going to torque them to 150. They may be a little more than lightly lubricated. We've got those two down. I'm going to catch up with you in a minute. We've got all of those on, and they were within specs. The front single flange roller and the rear single flange roller were a little bit offset, so we may add some shims in there later. Plan now is to flip this track frame all the way back over so we can get the front idler on there. So we're getting our shims lined up, and this is where the front idler sits on top of the frame, and then there's these shims underneath, and there was 2 on this side and 3 on that side. As for those shims, they attach right here on the inside of this and the outside of that, and that's what holds your end play this direction. The bolts that go through here and into these threads are a 5/8 18. It's a fine thread pitch, so I'm going to chase all these out. While I've got the tap out, I'm going to chase the threads where the carrier mounts right here. It's the same size. One thing I noticed on all of these D4s when I took the carriers off of them or went and inspected them to see what ones they have, is that these fine threads on these bolts, they were either loose or they were stripped, or the carrier was just completely welded on here. I will not be using Caterpillar bolts for this. For one, I couldn't find them. They're a fine thread. They're a really unique size. And for two, I want to use different length ones because I'm not exactly sure what length they are. And the ones that came out of here were all different lengths. There was nothing that was consistent. This is the piece that your idler axle goes through. And it actually goes on the frame just like that. Before we could put this on here and put our shims in here, we need to assemble a few things and even put the axle in. This is a tapered pin that goes through the axle, and that axle will only fit in here one way. These are a 3F8638, and what they are is a replacement for the springs that were originally in here. Now, these springs were originally rubber coated, just like these new ones here. So this is the axle off the left-handed side, and you can see how that taper right there tapers to fit that pin that comes in from the bottom. On the top, I'm going to put a new lock washer, and here's my nut. Now, I'm not going to tighten anything down in here just yet. I want to make sure I get everything fit together before I do that. These are just 3/8 bolts that go in here. And these are exactly the same as the ones I used in the radiator, which I still have plenty of them left over, fortunately. Now I'm going to put the shim spacers that go in here. One of these, and only one shim, and these are a 10,000ths shim. And no, I'm not sure why they have those holes in there. One thing we noticed is that there's quite a bit of substantial wear, especially on this ear here. So I think I'm going to flip these over and put this new surface towards the center of the front idler and put the old surface in, and that should give it a little bit more surface area to dog ear in and hold it. We need to put a washer inside of the idler on the other side, and there's one that goes in here. We're going to put a little grease on there to hold it. We're going to put a little grease on this axle as well. And just like we did over here, I'm going to flip these around to the side that hasn't been worn yet. Just put that one in on the other side. I'm going to put this one in here. Looks good. I got my shim in there. This is another one of those that's got the wear on it. So we're going to flip it around to the side that it hasn't been worn on. There we go. Now we got it. Gonna put my pin under there. I did put a little anti-seize in it. That should hold everything together. Now, sorry about the compressor, folks. These drop in here from the top, and I should have known that. But when you tighten those bolts, that's what puts tension down onto these springs, these spring packs in here. And I don't know what I was thinking. We've been putting a lot of hours in on this thing, and I think Dad and I are both very, very tired. And we're making some rookie mistakes. I am, at least. Dad's still going strong. Yeah, there's a lot of room. Ooh. Yep, we're good. So that's all those do. That's what puts your tension down on these springs to keep it from bouncing around. Okay. We're going to take the shim pack and the bottom spacer off until we get this on here. Now we just need to go
in and down.
Just set her down, and I got my fingers out of the way.
You sure?
Yep.
All right, because we're coming down.
Go ahead. All right, and now I can just slide it back and forth on the frame. They're long-winded bolts that go in here, and these are the ones I just chased.
See if you can get your bottom one in too.
Oh yeah, there we go.
They went in 7/8 of the way by hand with your fingers.
I'm going to torque those to 150. They're lightly lubricated, and that's what we did the roller bolts with. They're the same size. We can put this in here with the shims, and this side over here on the inside of this left track frame, it had 3 shims. This is how you align your tracks. I can't imagine doing this with the tracks on here. There we go. There's your spacers right here, and once we tighten this block up and then tighten our tension on the springs up above, that's what will kind of hold this in place. I'm going to tighten the axle down. Our end play right here, Dad and I are guesstimating.
It ain't so bad.
Yeah, we're probably at 30 thousandths.
30, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're just we're gonna run it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the shims in here on the other side, and this side only had 2. There we go. Now I gotta put my lock washers and the nuts on. We were just talking about how we're kind of excited to look and see how much of this stuff has changed when they went to the 5Ts, because I imagine that this is quite a different setup, a lot of this, at least the front idlers and stuff with seals, and because there's no seals in any of this. Got the shims tightened up on both of those right there, and over on the other side down here. This is just a plug on this side, but you can put a grease zerk in there if you need to. We've tightened down the pins that hold the axles. Dad's got the plug in over there. We've tightened down the bolts that hold the shims. Before Dad put the plug in here, we actually put the grease zerk in there, and this is the Alamite grease zerk, and pumped a little grease in here. This actually installs on this other side, and when I first got this machine and looked at other ones as well, it kind of bothered me that these looked like they were bent, because they kind of sitting there at an angle, but that's how they're supposed to be. Now I can snug down these bolts and tension the springs.
I need to blow that out with air. This takes a short one.
Okay.
And these 3 will all take longer ones.
This is going to be probably the only place on this machine that I really haven't used cat bolts. And these are 1¼ grade 8 SAE fine thread, and these are 1.5. And this one back here in the corner has got to be that 1¼ because it bottoms out. The rest of these, they all go through.
Nothing goes on there, is there?
Nope. That's it.
Okay, this is our short guy.
And these towers are both the same part number, so there's not really a right and a left. Like all the others, we're going to torque this to 150. That is one fully assembled track frame sitting right here. We're going to do the other one off of camera. But I do want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. That is a ½ an inch. I knew it.
I told you.
No, you told me it was 9/16. Well, there you have it. I say that too much, don't I?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there it is. I say that too much, don't I?
Probably.
Yeah.